We're live, Miss DM.
Yay! Okay, so where exactly did everybody choose to start at?
All I got was static from you.
Are you freaking kidding me? Can everybody hear me?
Can everybody hear me?
Now I can.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Okay, good. I may have an argument with my mic in the middle of this. Where exactly did everybody choose that to be their, like, starting town?
1 second.
I forgot it.
Did you guys put them on your character sheets by chance?
Mine is in my, I put it in my IRC, but it's also in my character background.
Be right back.
And Arlie, you said you do not remember where you chose?
I forgot to do that. What I was doing was, I was thinking my character was kind of like a foundling who was brought up in one of the places. Now I have you guys on the other screen, so now I'm looking away and it looks weird. But all right, I'll flip things. So I forgot to find the place where that would be.
One of the places, best city ever.
Yes. Yes. It says that they're located in Thyadis. I don't know where that is, though. If that's a help.
If I can make my map bigger, it would be.
You can't zoom in on it.
Yeah, but it doesn't want to let me.
What do you say it was again? Thyadis?
Yeah, Thyaatis.
Killing me, Smalls.
I know. I thought of all the other important things. I just was like, oh yeah, from someplace, right?
Okay, Endis, where are you located at?
For my origin, I'm coming out of the world spine somewhere. I don't have a specific location in mind. I mean, I could end up in Monarch. That's fine, too.
It's wherever you want to be. Just let me know.
I think Arlie's making up the town.
It's what the thing that I linked to you said. I'm serious.
That was a deity, right?
Uh-huh.
It says that her faith originated in Thaiatus. Oh, there's a link.
So, and as you wrote in chat, either Manic or Calmstat, which did you want to be in?
Let's go with Kolmstadt. That way it's a little different.
I mean, if you want, like, I can just be from there and you can throw me wherever you want, if it helps.
Oh, that's what I'm missing.
Okay, so in your towns that you're starting in, are you like have you set up a home there, or is this where like you're just passing through type deal?
I personally have been stationed there for a little while. Yes.
So you have like a home.
I would be passing through.
Your own place.
I'm like a priest of Pelor, so I guess I'd be stationed at one of the cathedrals or one of the monastery things that they have set up for their priests.
Okay. Alright, I was gonna wait for Ennis, but we're just gonna go ahead and get rolling. So we'll start with you, Radix. You return to a temple that you are serving in, and when you return to your quarters, sitting on your nightstand is a bright red scroll that is sealed with a kingdom seal.
Kingdom of, like, the city that I'm at, or?
Like the high ruling kingdom of Mystara.
Oh, I take a quick glance around the room, checking for anything anything else that's out of place. But I slowly approach the scroll, I guess.
That's just fun.
Okay, nothing happens.
Okay, I pick it up and break the seal and unravel the scroll. What do I see?
Hold on, I want to make sure I get your character name right.
Rogi.
It says, Rogi, you are cordially invited to an,
Oh crap, what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
It's like not an interview, like a appearance, but not that word.
I don't know.
I'm
having a brain fart and words are not coming to me. I'm sorry, hold on.
I know, they're hard. I get it.
Big words suck. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
If your king summons you, you're to appear before the king. It would be considered a
Summons.
But it's not. They're like he's there. You're being invited to come and sit with the king, sit before the king. It wouldn't be a summons. You're cordially invited to. What's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Shoot me in the upper 11 foot.
Google is currently my best friend.
Okay.
Oh, you figured it out.
Yeah. Shush you. Be nice.
Okay, so the scroll again says, Rogie, you are cordially invited to a appearance and an audience with the High Ruler, and at the address listed below, or at the location below, and you see, basically it's an inn that you know to be not far from you.
Not far as in, like, still leaving my city, yes?
No, still within
Or
the city.
within Manok. Okay. Then, I will put on my best, vestige robes, I suppose, portraying my deity, and, walk down the various corridors that it takes to get to my high priestess, showing the symbol of the High Kingdom, saying that I've been summoned, and that I'd be back as soon as they're finished with my meeting, I guess. And then I head that way.
Okay, it'll take you maybe 15-20 minutes to get to the end. It was really not that far.
Yeah, just a leisure walk through the city.
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing of consequence happened along the way.
Nope. A couple people said hi to you.
Okay. I guess we'll just say that I'm approaching the inn, and excuse me, go up to the owner of the establishment and say that I've been summoned here for a meeting.
So you open the door and enter in?
I do.
Okay. When we're gonna move on to Arlie. We're gonna leave you sitting right there. So Arlie, you have a guard of the town that you are in come up to you and hand this bright red scroll to you, and he just looks at you and says, "This came for you."
I thank him for his service and take it for him and open it up.
Okay. Again, it is sealed with a kingdom seal. And it is a cordial invitation to an audience with, again, one of the rulers.
Does it say like a specific time or anything, or it just says come at once, or?
It states come upon receipt.
Oh, okay. Well, then I head to the rulers to meet them.
Okay.
But I pay whatever my tab was before I left and go.
Okay. The location appears to be a scribe's office.
Cool.
And just let me know basically what you're doing along your way there. You're heading you're just beelining for it?
Just going straight, not really looking around or anything, just heading there right away.
Okay. It probably took you about 45 minutes, almost an hour, to get to that scribe's office. It was very remote, kind of back, almost off an alley.
Okay. Cool. When I arrive, is there somebody there?
Once you open the door and everything, we'll come back to that. Andis.
Yep.
Just making sure you really were there. So, where are you in your town?
Sorry, I'm trying to cram my supper down my throat. I'm probably standing in an alley somewhere.
May I inquire as to why you are standing in an alley?
Because I'm trying to figure out where I should go next.
Okay. Well, you see this. We'll say at first glance, it looks like maybe a beggar man walking towards you, but you notice under the cloak that the attire seems to be better than a beggar's, but the cloak is very just distraught, and he hands you a parchment scroll that is again bright red, and it has a kingdom seal on it.
I'll take this scroll and look at it and say, query, what is this?
When you look down to look at the scroll, the person who handed it to you is gone when you look back up.
Disconcerting. I'll open up the scroll and read it.
Your character's Odem, right?
Yeah.
Just making sure I'm saying it right. This is Odem. We need you to come at once. And there's a location at the bottom.
Sort of pop my head off to one side for a moment, and then sort of shrug and figure out where the location is and head off.
Okay. Upon arrival, it looks like an herbalist shop, and you can actually smell like fresh flowers out front, things of that nature.
Okay, well, I'll go in.
Okay. The minute you opened your doors, it was the rooms for all three of you. The rooms were pitch black. And after entering into the rooms, you shut the door behind you, and you realize you are not in the room that you were.
That applies to all of us, you said?
All of you.
If it's still pitch black, I'm going to turn my floating lantern.
I cast light on my quarterstaff.
I pull out my ever-burning torch.
All of you see each other's lights.
How far away are we from each other?
10, 15 feet.
Warning, aggression will not be tolerated.
I walk carefully towards the closer of the light, I suppose. The first light.
Should we give a description of what you guys see when you look at us? Because, that might affect how you react.
Right now, all you guys see is your lights. If you start walking towards each other, you will start to see more.
Oh, I mean, like, our light isn't, like, shining light on our faces, so, like, we can see each other's faces, or no?
If your light's by your face, then they'll see your face. But if you're hanging it, like, out in front of you and off to your side, they'll see that you're a figure, but they won't see, like, details of your face.
Oh, okay.
I mean, this is something I could roll for, I guess, but is it some sort of unnatural darkness? Because the light that I have should cast, like, 5 squares, so like 25 feet.
It's not unnatural, but you can smell like the air is thick. It's almost foggy in there.
Oh, okay. So I suppose I'll say I slowly approach the nearest light to me with caution.
Arlie, what's your character's name?
Heart. No, gosh. Agira. I mix up the syllables.
Okay. If you open the grid, you'll see the location of your characters.
Oh, okay.
Ta-da!
the nifty little
Radix
banner
is in the
looking
middle.
things. The
So-
nifty look. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask, if I stretch my light in front of me, is there a circular thing in front of me, or is that just not something there?
No, the circular thing in the center, you can kind of make out what it is. Just by just kind of brief looking around, you can kind of make out that you see like steps that surround it. And the little like banner looking things that are near you are actually where the door was that you walked through, but the door's not there anymore if you turn around.
Interesting.
Oh, goody.
Can we make perception checks to see, with our light, immediate surroundings, what, I guess, what the banner is, what sort of steps are in front of us, what they could lead to, etc. Would that have
Sure.
any impact?
Go for it.
Well, meanwhile, after, I guess, Endis said... What did you say, Endis?
That's it. Warning, aggression will not be tolerated.
Okay. And did you actually move Radix, or were you taking that back?
Yeah, I'm stopped right now.
Okay. So I respond to him saying, I mean, nobody harm who's here of a righteous heart. Things are appearing in the thing. Oh.
Yeah, wah for fog of war.
So were you doing a perception check?
I put it in IRC.
Oh.
I mean, I have dice, but I always just like having the stuff out in the open for, not that I would fudge rolls, but it's just a full disclosure thing.
I don't trust the bot. Bots hate me.
I think it's partial to Syl. You can tell that the floor you're standing on looks marble, and the steps in front of you look to be some kind of a dark marble, and they head up to a platform.
Okay, and the flag behind us, is there some sort of symbol, or is it just like a black flag, or?
It's actually not even really there. It's just to show that that's where the door was that you came through.
Oh, okay. All right.
There, I'll leave them to make confusion.
All right, hearing the two voices on either side of me, I'm going to err on the side of caution and move towards the less mechanized voice talking about righteousness, since that seems about right up my alley.
Okay.
So you're moving towards me?
Yes.
Okay. So as you move towards me, I move my torch closer into me so you can see my face.
All right, I'm not even able to click on my icon.
Uh-oh.
It just gets the square, the full square.
Hold on.
No.
Flip the table!
I could unmute myself. Skype, go down there. Character, go over here. Definitely need a third screen.
There you go. There you go.
I move slightly closer and
Then over here.
notice a dragonborn lady, I guess. You know, I don't.
Yeah, I'm about 7 foot tall, very muscular. I'm wearing plate mail, and my scales are silvery, and I look very stern.
All right. I approach slowly and say, "Be at peace. I mean no harm unless you intend harm."
No, I say I don't mean harm to anybody who's on the side of good and lives by their word. I have a holy symbol. I don't know if you know what it is, but I have one.
Okay. Yeah, mine should be appear directly on the front of my flowing robes.
Oh. Can I do a religion check to see if I recognize his deity?
Go for it.
Go for it.
Yay! I have a 22.
Yep.
Yep.
Yay!
Endis, what are you doing?
I'm standing there. I'm taking my hammer out of its loop, and I'm just waiting and watching.
Okay, I ask the gigantoid dragon lady, how did you get here? This is supposed to be an inn. Are you,
an inn.
you know, staying here?
No, I was summoned to come here to meet with the rulers of the city I was in.
As was I. Were you summoned to this inn as well?
Oh, was it an inn in the message, Ceace?
No.
No.
Changed per person.
For you.
For you, when
I
you
couldn't
were-
remember.
The room when you approached it was a scribe's office.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I tell you that I thought I was going into a scribe's office, not an inn.
Interesting. Given the nature of our meeting and the dark and heavy feeling and subduing of the light, there must be something foul afoot.
Just as an FYI, you can almost hear yourself echo in the room.
Ooh.
It's not a heavy echo, but it's just enough for you to sit there and realize the room is pretty much empty.
Interesting. Oh, did the entrance you came through disappear? Because there was a door there.
I was unable to leave.
There was a door there.
What was the other voice that echoed earlier?
Guessing it's another person in here. Hello out there!
Identify yourself.
I'll take that as an opportunity to turn my floating lantern up to bright, which means it'll shine out in a 10 square radius.
And what do we see?
Identify yourself.
That's you, Endis.
Yes, I'm just sort of looking and evaluating.
Ah,
But they asked what they saw. So this is your chance to
I
describe
am Odin.
how-
This is not where I was sent. Explanation is required.
We are just as puzzled as you, Robot Man. Be you friend or foe?
Designation unclear at this time.
So basically, he's unsure of us like we're unsure of him.
I guess I'll just slowly approach with just my staff at my side, like a walking stick or something.
I'll walk with him.
I'll scurry over to here, I guess, slowly.
You held down control, didn't you?
Damn it, yeah.
What are you clicking on?
Things, shut up.
It's complicated.
You wouldn't understand.
When I get over there, I ask Odin how he found himself here and what brought him here.
Was given a scroll, was instructed to enter an herbalist's shop, entered it, arrived here. Does not make sense.
Yes, it seems that there was some sort of portal that sent us from various situations of our homes to this location. As I was sent to an inn, and this large person to my left was sent to a scribe's office.
I look at you horrified and I'm like, I am sorry, my name is Agera.
Be well, Gara, I am Roger.
I look, and you notice I look a little sad, like I'm disappointed in myself and having like a lapse of politeness and not introducing myself.
I stared at the large mechanized man and said, and you, sir, ma'am, it, do you have a name or a function or something?
Didn't he say his name was Odin?
Designation is Odin.
Function?
Function is... function uncertain.
What do you look like, Endis?
He's about 6'6". He looks like he's not quite a marble statue, but he's covered in marble plates that are all basically held up by metal arrangements, and there's strange clickings and whirrings and little bursts of steam that come out every now and then.
And we're in a marble room? Was that right?
That's correct.
That's correct, but this is like almost like a black marble.
Okay.
And Odin's mostly white marble.
Alright.
Okay, I turn to, either one of them, say, so it's unclear how or why we're necessarily here. Obviously, we're not here to see the crown or whatever the scroll ended up directly saying. So how maybe we should try to find an exit?
Yeah, I think we need to look around the room. If you want to follow after me, I'll lead the way and we can see what we can find. And after I say that, I pull out my greatsword and hold it in front of me, like I'm getting ready in case something attacks us.
Suddenly, you guys hear a staff bang against the ground. 3 times. Really loud, and it echoes through the room.
I'll snap the shield off my back and take a step backwards.
I get into sort of a combat ready stance, I suppose. Like the guitar, staff in 2 hands, etc.
I call out to theirs, is there anybody else besides the 3 of us in here?
Make yourself known.
Of course
Of course there's more than you here. And this just won't do. And you hear the staff bang against the ground again 3 times, and the room fills with light.
Yay, light!
The source of the light is unknown, but on top you see like the area of stairs that surround a platform. On top of this platform is a woman in a robe. She's wearing like a powder blue robe with a dark blue cloak, and she has a great staff in her hand, and she is surrounded by 3 mages that are kind of sitting in like a kneeling resting position.
Can I use my intent skill to kind of get a read from their body language, what, like, if they're aggressive or like...
Your what skill?
Intent.
That's not a skill.
It's actually blatantly obvious that they are very passive right now. They are just, their eyes are closed, they almost look like they're meditative.
Okay. Insight.
Okay. I'm sorry, are you the one who tricked us here and summoned us here?
I did not trick anybody. That is just appalling. Trickery? I don't need trickery.
Stating to meet at an inn or an herbalist shop or a scribe's office implies you'll meet at those locations and not teleport your guests somewhere secretive and unknown to them.
Well, if the ears that were in the rooms around you and the eyes that were in the rooms around you knew where you were really headed, they would have killed you before you got here.
That's cheery.
This unit was alone in an alley. There were no other eyes that did not belong to vermin.
Did you check in the windows?
This unit did not see windows in the alley.
Trust me. There were things there. I know. I delivered the letter to you.
Interesting.
I'm Kalari.
Be well, Kalari. I'm Rosie Zerakai, priest of Pelor. Why is it that you have summoned us here?
Your services have been requested by the High Ruler himself, as I am his... What's the word for it? Second in command. He has sent me looking for the bravest, and your reputations precede you.
Oh, you have a task for us then.
If you're willing to take it on, there were some that tried before you and did not do as well as they should have.
I won't just take on any task without knowing what the task is.
Well, she'd have to tell us what the task is, otherwise how would we do the task?
There's a difference between taking on the task just because she asks and, you know, agreeing to it before you know what you're getting yourself into.
Oh, well, yes. I put away my great sword.
The task at hand is to retrieve the most powerful weapon that has ever been created. It has been stolen, and it was the one thing protecting the High Ruler, and it is no longer with us. In fact, it's no longer even here.
Do we know anything about this High Ruler?
It's rumored that the current High Ruler has led the longest peace treaty, and you guys have been at like it's the longest standing known time of peace ever.
You say it is no longer here. Where is here?
Right now,
we are currently in a room that is under the High Ruler's palace that only those who I bring to it can get into. The six magi around me are extremely skilled, and very thankful am I that they are, because they're the ones that are going to get you to the place where the item has been taken.
Do you know who has taken it?
Yeah, I do.
And
You see sorrow fill her face, and she's almost in tears. He was once the greatest magician, the greatest. He tutored so many, and yet he takes this great item. He takes it to another world.
Do you know why he took it?
To kill the king.
Why would he want to kill the king?
None of us know. No one knows. It makes no sense. All we know is that we have to get this back.
well, as it is my oath upon Servant Taylor to vanquish all evil and bring light to the world, I will take on this task.
I am rejoiced to hear you say that.
I'm assuming this trusted wizard had sworn fealty to the king, right?
More than most.
Then I will help track him down.
Function accepted.
I am relieved to hear you say that. There are a few things, though, that you'll need to aid you on your way. And Kalari steps down and hands you Alright, I didn't get a chance to look at your guys' character sheets. Do any of you guys have necklaces or bracelets on right now?
I have a necklace, yes.
I have a badge on my neck.
I don't. I just have a holy symbol.
We got someone to prepare.
Sure.
That's okay. Then I'll just give all three of you receive a bracelet. This is it's kind of like a golden bracelet, but you can tell it's like an antique golden bracelet. No fancy symbols or designs or anything on it, but it does grant one additional minor action per day.
Does it have a name? Exactly. What kind of just golden bracelet?
It's called a vaulted bracelet.
The vaulted bracelet. Is this? I'm assuming this is like a homebrew item.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Does that count as a wondrous item, or is it an arm slot item?
Arm slot.
All right, arm slot or hand slot?
Arm slot. Bracelet.
So you said he took it to a different world. Do you know where this world is?
Actually, I do. Odem, you are skilled in metallurgy, is that correct?
I am capable of some procedures along those lines, yes.
Perfect. Then you'll need this. And she hands you a very small piece of parchment. And hands you 3 small azure-colored stones.
Okay, I'll take them and read. What does the parchment say? I assume it has something.
The parchment tells you how to adhere these stones to any jewelry, necklace, bracelets, any of it. And it also tells you how to safely remove them from those items.
Does it explain what the gemstones are?
No. But she does. The azure stones, these are called tremor stones. They're going to let you speak the language of the people that you're going to be around. You could say it's a different dialect of common. Odem, if you would be so kind as to place these on their bracelets and on yours.
Well, I'll get to work attaching them to the other 2 bracelets, but as I'm doing that, is there any reason I can't attach the gem to something else?
You can. You can attach. It'll attach to anything that is of gold, or anything that has gold on it. As long as it's attached onto, it has to be attached to gold for it to work as it was intended.
Okay, then I'll attach it to the bracelets. I don't think I have anything else gold.
If you come across something that isn't gold and you're willing to test it out, you're welcome to. We have not, I'll be honest, have not had the time to study it on anything other than gold.
And no current magic will help this. I do have the capability to understand all languages with time.
She turns and nods to the 6 magi, and they stand. And she comes halfway down the steps. And in the middle of those 6, a portal forms. The language that lets you speak isn't here.
The last time you said here, you defined it as this room. Is that the same definition this time, or is it just no known language on the material plane?
Both.
Roji just sort of bows his head slightly and shakes.
If you're still willing to accept the task, then step through.
Query before I do. I am just in my robes and my holy staff. I do not have anything with me to go on on an adventure. Everything that I own is still back at the cathedral.
Oh no, that's been taken care of for you. Did I not put that? I'm sorry. I didn't put that on the letters, did I? I'm sorry. And she points behind you guys, just a little bit back from where the doors would have been, and you see your pack sitting there. Everything's packed and ready.
Oh, fantastic.
Useful. But you guys seem pretty powerful. Why are you unable to go after this guy?
It takes 6 of them to open this portal. And they can't stay open very long. It drains every bit of energy out of them. So unfortunately, we cannot talk much longer. But those who have not gone are staying behind to protect the king. 4 of my brothers and sisters have already given their lives to protect him.
Roji goes and starts to gather his possessions, reaching inside his bag for more travel-weary clothing.
I grab my stuff and start walking towards the portal.
As I get these bracelets finished up and handed out, I'm going to have to take off my gauntlets to put mine on. After I get them off, I just sort of unhinge my jaw and eat them.
Okay.
Kind of look at you curiously for a second, and then I continue doing what I was doing.
If you look up, you see that the mages are starting to shake.
I sling the pack over my shoulder and march toward the portal, doing a full circle, a couple of shakes, and say, "May the light bless you and yours," as I proceed through the portal.
As he's doing that prep work, I just step through the portal.
I go through too.
Okay.
Which is less about interrupting him and more about being the first one through.
If you look at the in the D&D drive, there is an image of called Plains. That's exactly where you just landed into.
Ooh, it's pretty.
Ooh, smooth.
And you hear something that sounds like rumbling in the distance.
I'm going to immediately set into like a bit of a battle stance and make a perception check.
What is this?
That looks like the image is selected.
There it goes. I got it. Perception check.
And he only got a 15 on it.
Yeah, you don't know a whole lot about the rumbling. You know it's natural. That's about it.
Okay. Do either of you have any sort of knowledge of nature, how to find some sort of civilization?
I do not.
I would have struggled with that even back where we came from. Here, I have no idea where to begin.
Camera? I think he's on a laptop.
Of course. I suppose I can do my best. I have read some books on this.
It's starting to sound like it's getting closer, and you hear some hooting and hollering.
perhaps we should move away from what is approaching or hide from it. Just a suggestion.
You mentioned hide, and I look at you like, do you see me? Huh? I do not hide so well, especially in a
Stealth
field
is
full
not-
of green and sun.
Stealth is not one of this unit's functions.
I just sort of, again, bow my head and shake it a little bit, thinking, oh, what did I do? So I go push through the two battle-hardened individuals and stand at the front with my staff lit ablaze, waiting for what's approaching.
Wait, you get in front of us?
Yeah.
I look at you quizzically and goes, you probably want to be behind. Safer.
I don't respond body language or anything, just ignore it. I guess I'll make another perception check to see if we can continue to see what's coming. Seriously?
You can see dust
off in the distance.
off in the distance.
Alright.
I'll make a perception check. Just see if I can see anything. It's perception instead of spot in 4E, right?
Say that again, Harley?
In 4E, it's just perception. There's no spot, right?
Yeah, it's all the same thing. Listen, spot, search. Yeah. They just kind of streamlined and put a lot of stuff together.
Well, I got a 5 on my perception check, so...
You guys feel anything? I'm enormous.
I found a pebble on the ground!
Perhaps we should take up
rumbling-
a Perhaps we should take up a defensive position. And I'll point at one of the trees.
That
Ooh.
seems like a very, very good idea. Lead the way.
Setting up the map at all?
Odin.
Setting up the map at all?
How big are you, Radix?
I think I'm just like 6 feet.
Okay.
You're putting everything inside that
Yeah, 6 feet.
square?
When we get
Very,
to...
very small, like brittle looking.
Yeah. When we get to the tree, I offer to lift you up to put you to the branches easier.
I just mean because then I can get rid of all the extraneous stuff on the
No, I
stream.
may be
and
small.
just
That
bring
does
it
not
down
mean
to,
I'm completely without defense.
bring it down to that box.
Don't need to defend against a tree. I'm trying to help you get, like, safety.
I have more to offer than just sharp words and wit. No worries here.
Okay. Still a little perplexed, but okay.
Explode with light and righteous fury.
On the grid, the green are trees in the area.
Okay, which direction is the rumbling come from in relation to this?
About where the explosion on the map is, roughly. That
Ooh,
general
okay.
area. But it's not that close yet.
I guess, yeah, I'll stand a little bit behind a tree to gain full cover.
What are you doing?
Hiding behind a tree.
Next to slash behind a tree, it gives me full cover, but I can still see what's going on.
Okay. I stand like 5 feet in front of the tree and take up like a defensive posture with my greatsword.
You should put yourself in an actual square.
Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, you guys are hiding behind different trees. There we go.
Well, yeah, first off, Arlie, are you intentionally not behind a tree?
Yes.
Just
My
making
character's
sure.
like, I'm standing here to protect, you know, whatever it is.
Whatever.
The rumbling is getting louder, and you hear, almost, army-esque, commands being shouted out, but not like war zone commands.
What do you mean by war zone commands? Can you elaborate?
Well, it's not like, you know, it's not like a... How do I explain this? It's not like you landed in the middle of a war zone and you hear, you know, run over and do this, run over and do that. You don't hear that, but you hear, come on, pick it up, let's go, you can do this.
Interesting. Okay.
Nobody randomly dying or anything. There's no the noise.
I just continue to maintain my my stance, waiting until I can see what's approaching.
Me too. Is the ground rumbling at all, or are we just hearing the noise, the rumble noise?
Oh, Ceace, I forgot to ask. How did you spell the Kalari chick's name?
Kalari, K-A-L-A-R. I'll put it in
Okay, I'm just trying to keep notes. Was all.
No, 'cause she asked if anybody was dying.
You notice off in the distance, Arlie, you can see like it's not just clouds anymore, like a cloud of dust. You see centaurs running.
How does she see that? She's the one who like had her face in the ground.
She's the only one not behind a tree
I'm not
right
behind
now.
a tree. I recognize them as centaurs, or like...
Yes.
Okay. I go back over my shoulder and I say, it appears to be a herd of centaurs.
I think herds are prides.
I don't necessarily move because I don't know the intentions of what is approaching.
Are they heading directly for us?
They're not beelining for you, but they are coming into your general direction.
Okay.
Oh wait, it's coming right for us. Bah.
You say they were going quickly towards us?
I couldn't hear you, I apologize.
You say they're coming quickly in our direction?
They're moving at a good pace, and they're not coming right at you, but they are coming towards your general direction, yes.
Can I try insight to see if they look or seem aggressive? Like they're out on the prowl for something?
Please be good. Please be good.
27.
Hallelujah.
You can tell that they are not acting aggressively, but that they are in training. You can't tell, like they don't have weapons drawn, but they are like shouting back and forth to each other, making sure, basically making sure that they're on their games.
Okay. In that case, I put my sword away and relax my pose and just try to wave at them to get their attention.
You hear a feminine centaur voice holler, "There's more of them over there!" And they're now coming straight for you.
I wait.
Nah.
What? Is your character doing anything?
No, I'm not in the head of the pack.
They come to a slow, almost trot, a little bit slower than a trot, and they're about that far from you now.
Okay, so they're what? They're about 20 feet. You're gonna take about 15 from our.
Can I make a perception check to see the two behind the trees?
Yeah, each square represents 5 feet.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to figure out how centaurs probably like to be addressed.
Try to be neutral about it.
I'm trying to be neutral, but like, I don't want to be like, hello, horse people.
Since they're not charging us, I'm gonna come up from behind the tree and walk up just behind Arlie. Not to.
Same.
I think both came out, so it didn't matter.
Oh, I'll say, greetings, a good people, and bow.
The one leading the pack just slowly walks forward to you and nods. It is good to see more.
More?
What do you mean more? I'm confused.
Come, we'll show you. He looks down to a small panther beside him and smiles, and begins to walk away. And the pack slowly follows him.
What does your panther look like? Just like a panther?
So I lean over towards Wade's character of like,
describe
so
it at
either
some
this
point.
is good or we're about to get eaten.
Those are generally always the two options, yes.
in absence of an alternative, why not follow?
Yeah, follow.
The only girl in the entire pack, like, trots up next to you and says, "Don't be afraid. We don't hurt you." And then trots up to catch up with the chief that was leading the pack.
Sounds interesting.
Hiroshi whispers a small prayer under his breath and apparently teleports way over there.
You're no longer with the trees, you're moving, come on. You can position yourselves however you'd like to be among the pack. That's fine.
Oh, so we decided to go with that.
That was my understanding. Did I misinterpret that?
No,
Oh,
I was intending to go with him.
Okay, I just must have misunderstood.
I'm moving myself. Oh, move E out of the way. I'm sitting dead center of the pack. H is me.
No, the purple H.
Oh.
Is H the leader guy that first talked to us?
Nope, that would be A.
Thought I was A.
Purple
You're
A.
the gray A,
Oh, purple
not the
A.
purple A.
What's the H then?
You will likely find out.
Okay. Can we see what that is? Like, does it look different? It's just a herd of centaurs.
Somewhere I got confused.
Okay.
The different that you see there is a panther that the chief had looked down and smiled at. And
Oh, okay. Cool.
Okay, and I'm assuming we're going at a relatively easy pace.
yeah, they're not rushing.
Okay.
Outside of my character for a second, the lady with the portal never told us exactly where she was sending us, like the name of the place, right?
Correct.
Okay.
It's an adventure.
As we're walking with them, I try to ask the centaur who is the closest to us, or to me, where we are. Like where this place is.
You're here.
Just look confused. And I'm walking.
Arlie, I'm assuming you asked H, correct?
Yeah. The purple
Yeah.
H.
Wanted to make sure I gave you the correct response there. Yeah. You just said you're
Yeah.
here.
Even better, I can look back at Radix and Odin and like, this place is called Here.
Apparently everything is here. A small room is here. The material plane is here. Whatever the hell this place is here.
You hear
I'm sensing some agitation.
You hear a small voice in the middle of the centaur pack going, I don't think that's really what she wanted.
I do double takes since I can't. I didn't see where the voice came from.
Yeah, I start looking around and like, who, what, huh, where, what? Ooh, can I do another perception check to see if I can find the location of the voice? Because it would be really funny.
Go for it.
Dun.
I got a 13 on that one.
Yeah, you just somewhere in the pack. Sounded like it may have come from the cat.
Yeah, I'm gonna also try to see where the location was.
I think the panther talks. It's a talking panther, guys.
Yeah, that wasn't that much better. 17.
Yeah,
You're almost pretty certain it came from the cat.
Okay.
I don't remember the name of the satyr or the knoll. Oh well.
Have you ever seen a talking panther? Hey, panther! Do you know what this place is called?
The panther doesn't talk, and its name is Pesh. The town, that is.
What?
The panther's
Okay.
name is Carlin.
Okay, voice. If you aren't the
Disembodied
panther-
voice.
Ooh.
Well, as they're kind of looking around, up from the middle of the pack floats this little guy. He's just a little over a foot tall. Can't weigh more than a handful of pounds. I don't know, would they notice him as a pixie? Would they know what a pixie is?
They notice that you have wings.
You notice that he is tan and green in color. He's got iridescent wings. And he, quickly as he floated up, he floats back down.
And these are really
It's a shiny.
Huh. I can't say I've seen one of your kind before.
It's a
I
talking
glance
butterfly.
Over I glance over at the robot. Do you know what it is that this was?
Trizodone.
Hmm?
Trizodone.
Whatever.
Yes, I'm just trying to figure out what check would that even be.
Probably nature.
What, to figure out what you are?
Some part of the natural world. I'm part of the...
Water.
No. Back there?
Yeah.
No.
Ooh, I'm just as good at nature as I am
have
at
no idea.
perceiving.
Endis believes I'm human.
I got 11 for nature.
I'm not sure I didn't even notice what was going on.
Well, I'm not gonna roll considering I was the one who initially said I wasn't sure. But
Alright,
You're pretty certain he's a butterfly.
Yes!
And very quickly you arrive at a town. This town has 9 buildings, which on the map they used to be trees. Now they're labeling buildings, and each building looks they look like thatched roofed huts. Not quite teepees, but they look very roomy. And you see primarily centaurs walking around, and you see 5 different races that they don't look like they fit in exactly.
can we identify those other races?
I don't know, can you?
What kind of check what am I looking for?
Nature. With nature? It'd be nature.
It'd be nature.
Okay.
Just
Let me know which one you're trying to figure out.
I can't even read the numbers on them. Or letters or whatever. We'll say the furthest. We'll say the one by number 6. Can't catch a bird.
You notice that to be a minotaur.
Okay.
Arlie, stop playing with
What
yourself.
are you doing?
I was trying to move myself and I ended up changing the shape and now I can't get it to go back.
She's
it.
being warped by reality.
I think I've been drugged, man. So you figured out what one of them was?
Yeah, the B is a minotaur.
Oh, okay. What about S? It's a 9.
You know he's some deer mix.
Deer mix?
That one over there is some kind of deer.
I'm going to double check on that. Will an 18 do anything better for that?
You notice that it's a satyr.
Okay. Those, my dear paladin, are called satyrs, not deer men. That may offend them.
No, I said some kind of deer, not a deer man.
The best cook ever.
Alright, I think I'm just going to continue going through the bit.
Not only is that one a satyr, but he's one hell of a cook.
For the next one over. What is that? G.
14 will get that.
You notice that he's a gnoll.
A knoll?
A gnoll.
Okay. And based on where I'm standing, it's, well, A, unfeasible that I probably saw that to begin with, but the others two are way beyond where I can see.
Bugbears are pretty big, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he'd still see them, right?
Yeah.
No, you'd still blatantly see them.
Oh, okay. So I guess I'll keep going. For LE.
You notice that they look very similar. You almost can't tell them apart. And they are bugbears.
L and LE?
Are both bugbears.
Okay. Okay, so you have these massive mix of races. What are you all doing here? Why are we here?
Kitty!
That's how I'm gonna get around your healing too.
Wait, what about a cat now?
What about the cat?
Radix's cat behind him.
Oh.
That looks like a pillow.
Oh,
Oh, no, there's
He
ears.
just turned.
The ears. The chief turns back to you and says, "Make yourselves at home. I'll be with you soon." And he walks off, and you see the female and the male that they actually look very similar as well. Follow him.
I guess I just kind of stay where I'm at. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing outside of followed some people and stuff. This is just so strange.
You notice that D, the purple D, turns and looks back at, is looking at the other 4 centaurs, and he's actually yelling at them, calling them slackers. They should have done better, and telling them to go like hustle up and get cleaned up and get on duty.
While he's shouting, I'm going to slip the bracelet off my wrist. See what happens.
You do not understand a single thing he just said.
Okay, bracelet goes back on then.
Interesting. Are you going to relay that?
Yeah, I'll lean over to you and say, bracelets work as advertised.
I walk over to the satyr and introduce myself.
Haven't seen likes of you in a long time.
I've never seen the likes of you before.
Oh, well, you're just in time for lunch here. And he hands you this steaming plate that has steaming fish on it, and it smells delicious.
I thank him for his generosity and take it and start eating.
Your taste
Hey,
buds
yo,
are in
back over
heaven.
to- Huh?
Your taste buds are currently in heaven.
Fantastic. Hey, yo, back to the other two. Like, you've got to try this. Oh my god.
Yes, tell your friends, I have plenty of fish. The boats just came in and it's all fresh out of the sea. As you notice, he reaches over and like guts one and chops the head off, and he's just scaling it and getting ready to throw it on another pan.
Do you have any sort of information of where we are? This is still so foreign.
You're asking the satyr?
Oh crap. Map, where are you? Yeah, I'll go up that way. And ask the satyr. From behind a giant dragon.
He looks at you and says, "Oh, you should go ask our leader over there." And he nods towards the panther and says, "I'm getting ready to serve his plate soon." And you notice he goes and like searches for the smallest fish he has in this basket and like cuts it in like quarters and then fries it.
I look at him and I'm like,
Panther is your
the
leader?
butterfly. I said the butterfly eats fish. So at the same time.
Hey, so the panther is your leader?
Oh, this is horrible.
The panther is nobody's leader.
Well, he said, you know, go talk
It's
to our
for
leader,
the
and then
butterfly.
pointed his head at the panther.
Actually, he was pointing at me.
That
You're the
small
leader of
fish isn't
society?
enough for the panther. I'm sitting here yelling at you. Well, not yelling at you, but like, come on!
They're eating raw fish?
It's the butterfly.
He'd take it either way.
the satyr actually grabs the biggest fish he's got in his basket and tosses it over to the panther, and then hollers out and says, "Your fish is ready, sir. Whenever you're ready, I'll try and do my best to keep it warm without it getting bad."
I'll just take it now, Chet.
I need your plate, sir. I don't have plates of your stature. Remember, I screwed that up already before.
I grab one of my minuscule plates out of my bag, hand it to Chet.
Are you visible or invisible?
I'm visible.
He scoops the little bitty fish off the pan and hands it to him. "Let me know if you want more. I got plenty of it this size right now."
That'll be fine, Chet.
No problem. And he just goes right back into gutting and scaling fish.
So, Virgie points at the small little flying man thing, butterfly. You're the leader.
I am.
So, where are we?
We're in a small fishing village, centaur fishing village called Pesh.
Right, we came here from not the plains. We were sent here through a portal. You're not
By
telling us
Kalari.
much.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. You're familiar. Where does she send us?
Hell if I know.
No, you know it's Trizidone.
I do?
Oh yeah, you know. 'Cause you
Okay,
have a map that you
great.
traded for.
Oh, that already happened?
Oh yeah.
Oh, never mind. I was just informed that I actually have knowledge that I didn't know I had. What's it
Yay.
called?
Good.
How do you spell that?
Trezadone.
Well, this world is actually called Trezadone. Right now we're, like I said, we're in Pesh. It's a fishing village on the southern end of the main continent.
The map that's in the D&D folder, that's the map you have. It's incomplete, like, because the traveler hasn't been
On the southern part of the continent?
Yep. Remember how the when we first came up on you, the centaur said, "Oh, more of you"?
Right.
Well, since you've noticed the crew here, my crew here, we were the first group sent through. At least as far as we know.
Now that's including the satyr, the minotaur, the bugbears, etc.
The Minotaur comes stomping up, and he looks over to the winged gentleman, and he goes, "Look, I'm finally doing it!" And then he stomp. You hear him like he's almost tiptoeing but thumping away.
What's his name?
I raise an eyebrow.
Yeah, Bull, you're hiding. You're really good at stealth. I kind of lean halfway over towards the other two, and I'm like, he thinks he can hide. He thinks he's really good at stealth. He just stomps around a lot.
Well, he's probably better at it than I am.
I respond just a somber, I glance around to see what happened to our robot.
Are the 3-4 of you really talking with a building between you?
Yes.
Obviously.
Just checking.
Well, you know those 5-foot buildings.
Yeah.
Fine. Would you like me to make it larger?
Just move that one over there.
Don't move the building.
Don't move the building, you punk!
Okay, I was like, I swear I didn't move the building.
No, still did.
I can't Google good. It was not me. Andis, are you just kind of standing there, not doing anything this whole time?
Pretty much. I'm sort of looking around, just taking everything in.
Oh, while we're talking in the middle of all of it, I look over at him and I'm like, do you eat things? Or do you
Sustenance is not required.
Okay.
So, how long? I glance over at the ferry. How long have you been here if you know so much?
How long have I been here?
You've been there about a year. Almost a year.
I'm assuming time goes the same here as it does there. I think it's been about a year, maybe 2.
Okay, and why were you sent here? Same reasons I can only assume we were.
Same reason you were. Mysterious woman, summons in a red envelope, 6 summoners, magical portal.
And did you guys just fail or something?
Unfortunately, these 5 here that they sent me with, they are basically 4 morons and a really good cook.
Oh, are they?
Ah. So, you know that this weapon has been gone forever. What took her so long to send people in between?
You have no idea.
Your guess is as good as mine. I've been waiting quite a long time for some kind of backup, some kind of further information, figure out what I can do to get it back, what I can do to find this guy.
Okay.
And like I said, I'm here with a bunch of idiots and one really good cook.
Leol is like a phenomenal.
Who?
Leol, the female bugbear.
Hey, what, how do you spell that?
Leol.
Alright,
Phenomenal.
and how did you become the chief or whatever of this village, this fishing village?
When Chet referred to me as the leader, I'm the leader of our little group of 6. The Centaur chief is the chief of the village. He's just been kind enough to let us stay here.
Oh, okay.
The satyr pipes in and goes, well, their last cook sucked, so they don't really want to lose me.
I just sort of take my pack off, lean against walk over to a nearby building and just kind of sit down against it.
If you glance around, you notice the gnoll is randomly walking around and digging holes.
Digging things?
He is digging holes. And he digs them like up to. He digs a hole to his waist, that covers it back up, and goes off to another spot to dig a hole up to his waist, and then covers it up and walks off to another spot. And that's all he's doing.
I asked the butterfly if he knows what the gnoll's up to.
She asked you.
Who did you ask?
The butterfly. The talking butterfly.
Before I answer, I turn and look at the dragon woman, and I'm like, you know, you kind of look like you want to put me in a jar and put me on display. So before you do, I'm a pixie, I'm not a butterfly.
Ooh, a pixie.
Does your rear end light up too?
No. Do I know what the knoll's doing?
No. It's one of those.
And to answer your question, he's an idiot. God only knows what he's doing.
The
knoll actually starts panting and then runs off again. Like, off into, like, it looks like no man's land. He just took off.
Perhaps he lost something.
I'm hoping none of you are as dumb as this crew. I see a dog.
Probably depends on how you define intelligence.
Apparently Radix is temporarily disabled by licks and kisses of the
Yeah.
canine variety.
Radix down, Radix down.
Alright.
Did he kill you?
Yeah. Dying. Alright, sorry.
You notice the bugbears are starting to walk in your direction, and the closer they get to you, you realize they look like identical.
They must be twins.
They are.
Hmm.
Now just turn and stare at him.
The one labeled LE turns and nods towards the pixie, and the other one smiles and waves frantically.
Did you give me their names backward then?
LE is Leola.
Yeah, you gave it to me backwards.
I bow and say, "Good day, good folk."
See, I told you they're friendly. I told you they're friendly. I told you. That's the one labeled L, and the one labeled LE hits him upside the back of his head and says, "Shut up."
Thank you, Leo.
She nods and grabs 2 plates, one for each of them, and says, "Come on." And they walk over to sit down and eat.
I glance over at the pixie. So, do you have any leads of how we're supposed to approach this rescue mission?
Well, no.
Do you know a direction? Do you know anything? Does anyone know anything?
Considering we're on the southern tip of the continent, I would say north would be a good direction.
I just sort of put my face into my hands and keep them there, muttering to myself.
Welcome to my last year, year and a half, 2 years, however the hell long it's been.
You've been searching for this guy for years?
We started to, but we kind of stalled out. Again, because I'm here with idiots. I've got 2 people in my group of 6 besides myself that are useful for anything, and that is Chet, who's a hell of a cook, and Leol's a pretty good alchemist. None of them can really fight worth a damn, because the ones that have any ability to swing a sword, yeah, they're too dumb.
Too dumb to swing a sword?
The Minotaur has made his way back over towards you, and he looks at you and goes, "Of course I can't swing a sword. I'm supposed to be hiding."
See?
Oh, it was the Minotaur who was hiding. I missed that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, he thinks he can stealth. He's not so good at it. And you saw the knoll.
He thinks he's people.
As you're talking to the pixie, he sneezes and disappears.
Where'd he go? Think he just exploded himself.
And
If
about
there's no information or resources here, we shouldn't waste time. We should move.
about 30 seconds later, he's visible again.
I'm looking at you like it's the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life.
You shouldn't be too amazed. That's actually an accident. Pixies can naturally go invisible. I just haven't perfected it yet, so it kind of happens randomly when I sneeze.
Oh.
I get up from my perch, or my sitting spot next to the building, and well, actually, Ceace, what time of day is it generally right now?
Afternoon. Like probably close to 1-ish.
Okay, I glance over at the golem and say, I agree, but we should. It can't hurt us to just stay put for the latter half of the day and get going at dawn.
The chief is now approaching you. The four of you that are sitting around enjoying your lunch, and behind him are the male and female. The male looks like a younger version of him, and the female looks like a younger version of him with boobs.
He was gesturing towards us, is what you said?
Well, he approached you, but he's just standing there waiting for you to finish your conversation.
I stand up and wait for him to say something.
I turn to him and bow and say greetings again.
Greetings, young travelers. My offspring and I are great to see that there are what appear to be more competent travelers here to aid our dear friend here.
Apparently so, but we still do not have any information of where we need to go to accomplish the task at hand.
Well, something may have just come our way to help lead you on your path.
I tilt my head to the side. Something?
The chief turns to the female, who is labeled it's the purple C on the map. He turns to her and nods at her, and she steps forward and says, "We found this not far from here, and when we asked the trade merchant who came through today, he said that he saw the guy who was wearing a symbol like this up in Dainla." And she actually hands the pixie this. It almost looks like a medallion, but it has the High King symbol on it.
And what was the name of that again? The Denlaw?
Denla.
And this Danlaw, is it another village? Is it a city? Do you know anything about it?
It's the only city that the herbologists go to. It's where every alchemist dreams of going and studying.
So it is an actual city?
Yeah, of course it's a city. Well, all right, hold on. Let me look at this thing. She reaches her hands out to see the map. Oh, you're missing a ton of towns on here. That just won't do. Let me take a look at this and I'll update it, and I'll just be right back, because I know exactly where these are. I just want to make sure I put them on correctly. And she like rolls it up and runs off.
Do you think that it's like a centaur particular town is why it wasn't on your map?
Towns that you've been to.
She comes running back pretty quickly. My map didn't have as many as there are dots on your map. I don't know what all these other towns are. But the ones that I did have, I put on your map.
And your map's updated.
I know, I saw it.
And she hands it back to you.
Thank you, Theria.
Just happy to see you guys finally making headway.
Me too.
The chief turns and looks at all of you and says, "Stay as long as you need until you are ready. We will help in any way we can."
Thank you.
Yeah, I guess if we're gonna be working together, you guys might want to know my name. I might want to know yours. My name's Hawthorne.
When he mentions knowing names, I look once again like upset and aggrieved, like, how could I forget this again? And I bow towards him and say, my name is Agara.
I nod my head towards the pixie. I'm Roji Zerikai, priest of Pillow.
What about that golem?
he doesn't talk much.
His name is Odin.
Good to know. The panther you guys have already seen. This is my pet Carlin. And if you look at him, he's jet black, almost an unnatural black, and his eyes aren't solid. They're almost ethereal eyes.
So we agree that we head out at first light then, get this done.
What the heck?
It would be better to leave now, but I understand that you have needs.
Yes, some of us do require sustenance and more rest than people, those of your kind. So that I sit back down and set my pack against me and just sort of close my eyes in meditation and prayer.
So there's the chief looks around and he goes, so there's now 4 of you, correct?
Yes.
None of you look like you're able to take care of each other.
What do you mean?
If I
squish him, who fixes it? He points at the pixie.
Could fix it some.
What makes you think you could squish it?
He looks over at Hawthorne, just kind of chuckles, and goes, "We've had our fun."
I refer more to, why do you think we would let you squish it?
I'm saying, if there were 5 of me, or my entire herd, who would take care of you? You have no mender.
I open my eyes again and glance up, say, just because we may not look like much does not necessarily mean our skills will not lead us forward with the help of our deities.
I do not doubt your skill. I do not doubt your skill, Eager One. I am concerned because I do not want to see you fail.
With evilness in the heart of this thief and the lives of so many at risk, their failure is not an option.
But if someone damages you, here I have soothsayers. Here we have an amazing herbalist. Like, who will heal you?
They do have some healing availability.
You offering help, Chief?
I think there might be a way to assist you, but not if you don't want it.
Any help to complete the task at hand certainly would not necessarily be tossed aside lightly, but we may not necessarily seek violence unless it's completely necessary.
That is a good strategy, but sometimes violence will seek you. The chief kind of looks everyone up and down, hollers over for Leol to come over. And then the female bugbear hollers to her brother, "Don't move." And knows he plops himself back down like he was getting ready to follow her over. And she comes over and nods at the chief and goes, "Yes, chief." He looks at her and goes, "I need enough solves for all of these for 6 days. Come and see me in the morning. You'll get what you need." Walks away.
It's weird having a conversation with myself.
Say thank you to the chief.
To what?
To chief.
The chief nods. The two tents or the two huts behind you will serve as your rooms for the night. So feel free to set up in them, and in the morning you can head straight out from there.
I bow my head again back in prayer and meditation.
The chief nods, and the two behind him nod, and they walk away.
So it's still like afternoon time-ish.
You've got all evening.
So I look at Hawthorne and I go, "So you've been here for a while, so is there like any kind of wildlife we need to be wary of? Any kind of people who are a problem aside from the guy we're looking for?"
Pretty much anything outside of this village. At least till you're friends with it.
You would know that humans do not exist in this world.
As far as you mentioned people as far as humans, yeah, they don't exist here.
Well, you don't have to be human to be a person.
No, but technically humans like to consider the term people to refer to themselves.
I glance up and say, "What do you mean, friends with it?"
A lot of, at least from what I've been told, a lot of the area are small villages, small towns run by different clans of either groups of centaurs, groups of, you name a race, there might be a town run by it. And most of them are not very friendly to outsiders. You befriend them, like centaurs in this village, they'll be the nicest in the world. But till then, they tend to not like you too much.
You do know that there are some races that would have been considered evil that are not evil in this world as well.
The High Ruler is human, yeah?
In
The original world?
The what guy we're looking for.
No. The guy we're looking for isn't the High Ruler. He's some high mage or something. The greatest magician
Well, that's
ever.
sorry, not the High Ruler. Then the guy we're looking for, he's human, right?
That has not been disclosed.
I should have asked what he was. How do we not think of it? We're a bunch of weirdos ourselves.
Because we didn't realize we were going to a world without humans, which would have made it really obvious if he was human.
I almost would have
Fine
figured that
human.
would have been common knowledge if he was like the king of all the material planes or something.
Yeah.
And what was it you told me? Oh. Also, from our original world, everything you know about races, you can pretty much throw out the window. Races that you know are generally good races, not necessarily so here. Same with ones that you know to generally be evil. Not necessarily evil here.
Interesting.
So, we never got a description of this guy. So how are we gonna know when we find him?
We could assume that he tried to kill us.
What did I tell you in RFP? You'll know.
Well, but just because something tries to kill us doesn't mean it's him.
No, but the weapon this guy stole, yeah, we'll know if it's him trying to kill us.
So it'll be particularly flashy.
Just running this.
What? Flashy, eh? Deadly, yeah.
You know it to be obvious.
Well, if it's a certain kind of deadly, we won't be around to know it was him after. Like, that seems not useful.
That's why you guys are here.
To be fodder?
No, you guys are stronger than fodder, are you not?
So wait, are we supposed to be taking other people to be fodder? I'm just confused.
He is deadly. The weapon he is carrying is deadly. If you're strong enough, it's no longer deadly. Just like everything. Minotaurs are deadly to most people, but if you're strong enough, you can kill one.
As a point of interjection, Hawthorne, just because you're stronger than it doesn't necessarily mean it ceases to be deadly.
You're right, you gotta be smarter too.
I look a little concerned at that.
Yeah, I raise an eyebrow subtly.
Book smarts aren't the only smarts.
That is true. But still.
Are
you guys still picking at the fish you were given, or did you set the plates aside?
I would assume I would have finished it by now and set it aside.
I finished. I let Carlin lick my plate clean, then put it back in my pack.
A little bit late. Done. Alright,
Alright, the satyr comes running over. He goes, "Oh, I almost forgot to grab these!" And he like hustles up and like gathers up all your plates and stops and turns at Odom and goes, "Did you need anything to eat?"
Sustenance is not required.
Good, because I wouldn't know what to cook for you. Walks away.
Which huts were ours to use again?
4 and 6.
Oh, okay.
I'm claiming 9 as mine.
Okay.
Actually, no, I'm claiming 3.
Okay. You just can't have one.
So 2 to a bunk or hut.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've got my own, so you guys can split them however you want.
I do not need a bunk. I can keep watch.
So you don't need rest or anything? You don't need to recharge? Nothing? You just keep going?
Superpower.
Energize.
I am not.
At your service.
I am not a creature of flesh. I don't have the same requirements.
Okay. That's cool. I'll take 4 then.
Okay, I get up from my small perch or whatever and proceed to head into 6th and say, I will see you all at first light. If I'm needed for anything, I will be here in prayer.
The satyr will come and actually rouse you at right around like 6 or 7. Tell you dinner's on, and you'll hear like a pounding of drums off in the distance, like outside of your hut, but within the village. That just kind of signifies that dinner's going, and you come out and you'll see like a large bonfire roaring, and dinner's going, and it's every night is a bonfire party.
I give my respectful nod and go into the hut.
Somebody talk real quick.
Hi.
Oh.
Hello.
Did you lose us?
You good, Arlie?
I think she's broken again.
It's back though. Yay!
Yay! So we'll just go ahead and fast forward to like 6 p.m. And
Sounds good.
the satyr comes over, and you guys hear the drums going, and you hear people laughing and singing and hoot and hollering, and he comes running over and he goes, "I almost forgot you guys were here. We got food. You need to come eat this." And he goes and waddles away. And you notice he is kind of plump for a satyr.
More food. I will take
This
more
was
food.
Chet the satyr.
Yeah.
Can we say that he has one of those kerchief things? That would be awesome.
Chef's hat.
Or you mean like a handkerchief, or you mean like a chef's hat?
Power style.
Yeah. I don't know what they're called.
Sure. You also notice that he is wearing an apron.
That makes it better. Awesome. I go looking for food.
Oh, you didn't have to look far. You can smell it. Dinner tonight, and you hear him shouting, "Dinner tonight is fresh roast pig, or fresh roasted boar. We got 6 of them. Should be plenty to eat." And he's just carving them up.
Huh. You good if I move the big pink one out as the
Fantastic.
bonfire?
The which
Big
one?
pink one to be the bonfire?
Use here. I'll make this one orange. And use that one because then it's kind of because it doesn't want to be. It doesn't need to be huge. It'll go actually right about where the bull was standing.
Really?
I grab a plate of food and I wander over to wherever Odom is.
The
I'm right
big
outside
orange
the hut.
circle.
The big orange circle
In the center of town is the bonfire,
And
and everybody's kind of gathered around it and dancing, and you hear a lute. You hear
What is that?
A loot.
you hear a lute going. Actually, you hear several of them going. You hear drums. And you just hear people singing and laughing. And if you go near that, go over towards the bonfire, they hand you a mug of honey ale. Interacts, even though you're still in the hut, the music and everything is very loud. Just as a warning.
Okay. I mean, that's just sort of a characteristic thing, as I'm not a charismatic, outgoing individual.
No, that's fine.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to let you know, like you'd hear it really loud inside your hut.
Oh, I'm sure.
So I wander over to Odom and I ask him, like, so like you don't need sustenance or rest or anything like that. I don't know how to ask this, but I'm curious if you have what most creatures refer to as feelings.
Oh, that's fine.
I know what she's watching. I just don't remember what it is. Is that Green Lantern?
Clarification required. What do you mean by feelings?
I sit there and mull over it for a few minutes. I say I'm not really sure how to describe what a feeling is.
Bagheera no smalls.
Is that Hellboy?
Maybe Hellraiser.
I wouldn't watch Hellraiser. I've seen this movie though.
Just trying to figure it out.
And the puppy was just trying to steal my dice.
Yeah.
Arlie, I have to ask, what is your husband watching?
He's watching Farscape now.
Watching what?
Farscape.
Oh. I'm just happy Radix was wearing pants.
What he got? Look where his camera went.
Yeah.
All right. What are we doing here?
Where we're going to head out to. Well, you guys are gonna have dinner, and you're gonna get something from. Leo, and then we'll head out to that village that I just said.
Do 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 do.
Puppy.
No fair. I can't pick my puppy up and put her in my lap.
What kind of dog do you have again?
There's trash.
Hold on.
Hold on, the cam's going mobile.
There's trash back there.
Ooh.
Daisy, come here.
Mastiff!
Hi, honey. You say hello?
Aw, she's pretty.
Hello. Kiss, kiss.
Although the coloration of her face vaguely makes her look like she has like goth makeup on or something. She's like, I'm so goth. Rawr.
She
She is rather emo, let me tell you.
Thank you. Oh, yuck.
But she does give the best hugs on the face of the planet.
I'm sure she does.
Alright, what is Hawthorne doing?
Hawthorne is parked with his cat off the campfire. Ate a little bit of pig. Had a little bit of beer. And if nobody's coming to bother him, he's pretty much ready to turn it in for the night.
Alright, and Radix, you look confused.
I was gone whenever whatever the hell is on Arlie's television was clarified.
Farscape.
Okay. So there's like a weird clay robot monster dog or something.
Hey, lay down.
You guys never watched Farscape?
I can't say I have not.
It's an old sci-fi show where this guy goes through a wormhole
If you
and
haven't,
gets
you really
thrown
should.
into a parallel universe. And yeah, just seeing it from the outside without seeing like the first intro is bizarre. It's just weird, but it makes sense within the context of itself.
I have Netflix. I'll check it out sometime. Sorry, see.
That's
There's just
fine.
like some weird shit going on.
Yeah, it looks bizarre. I will agree.
Stay. Alright.
Alright, Arlie, what are you doing?
I'm still pondering how to describe what feelings are to Odin.
Okay, and Radix, I'm guessing you're bunking in for the night?
Yes, that is correct.
Endis.
I'm standing guard outside the tent, and I can just stay here for pretty much the entire night.
Okay. Are you listening in on, paying attention to Arlie's character trying to explain feelings to you in 1,000 words or
Yeah,
less?
I asked her what she meant, and now I'm waiting for a response. I mean, the benefit of being a living construct is I can wait for days.
Alright, well, eventually Arlie would pass out in front of you.
That's Arlie's problem, not mine.
That's what I figured. Yeah, eventually I will have to think about this more and get back to you and go back into the hut to go to bed.
Alright, Endis, are you going to be waking them at first light?
Yeah, pretty much at the moment that the sun starts to creep across the horizon, I'll be waking people up.
So we're at morning.
Yeah. I sent Endis a tell saying the sun, it is creeping. Most annoying alarm clock ever.
Alright, well, you see the sun creeping up just off into the horizon. You see the first glimmers of the light that it emanates coming up over the treetops.
Oh, okay, the moment I see the light, I'll step into the tent and say, it's dawn. It is time to be going.
Which tent?
I'll step into number 6 first, and then I'll step out and go into number 4 and repeat myself.
Okay. I rise from my sitting, resting position, legs folded, meditative, whatever, and rise, I guess. And exit the tent with the rest of my possessions ready to go, I guess.
Is Leo where she is on the map right now?
Gather up all my stuff and head out as well.
Put her in a
Outside the hut.
put her in a hut somewhere.
Well, she would be in 7 then.
Okay. I go over and wake up Leo.
You find her already awake.
You have something for us?
I do.
I do. There's
four?
four of you?
Yep.
Alright, and you see her, like, she's rushing around this hut, gathering, different packs, and you hear, like, she picks one up and she's, that's not big enough, and she puts it back and goes rummaging for another. She's like, I have 3. Where's my 4th? And in the middle of, like, tearing apart a box, she stops and looks over at her brother, who is in the corner of the hut, and he is very slowly putting pebbles and rocks and odd trinkets into a small bag. And she goes over and she hits him upside the back of the head and goes, that is not yours. And he starts whining like a 3-year-old and crying as she's dumping all his little trinkets that he was putting into this bag onto the floor and starts filling it. She's like, give me just like a little bit longer to get this one filled, and I'll be ready for you.
Alright, just bring it out front when you're done.
Will do. I'll meet you at the breakfast table.
Breakfast!
When you go to get your breakfast, you notice that Chet has served up some probably the best tasting bacon that you've ever smelled, at least, and he has eggs that are just simmering in a pan, actually multiple pans. He's got like 4 or 5 cooking fires going right now, and he's looking over at you guys going, what do you want? Let's go, come on, I don't have all day.
Out of character, do I want to know where these eggs came from?
They're ostrich eggs.
Oh, yes, of course. Seriously, how did you not know that?
Yes,
That's the obvious answer.
I'm so ashamed of myself.
What were you thinking? Jeez.
No, actually, there's wildlife. Like there's chickens and stuff roaming through the village and stuff. You notice it's not just fishing, but it is primarily fishing.
Chickens were not for eating.
So yeah, plenty of eggs, plenty of bacon, toast, all the foods, a bit of everything.
Toast. The satyr looks around and he goes, toast. Did I cut that bread? And as he's like slicing the bacon nice and thick, he's slicing up the bacon, he's throwing it onto a pan. He's like, how do you want your eggs? And you see like he's still kind of quizzical, like, did I slice the bread? As he's like, he scrambles up your eggs real quick, and he like turns around and he bolts off into the hut, which is number 2, comes running back, and he's like, I did slice the bread. And he sets you up with some nice fresh toast and all that stuff.
Yay! I thank him for his work and happily abscond with my food.
I grab a slice of bread and get some mushrooms and roots out of my satchel to put on it.
He looks over and he goes, you got fruit over on the table over there. You're welcome to help yourself. Fresh pick this morning. You look over and you'll see like tons of blueberries. It's all berries. Blueberries, raspberries, strawberries. There's no melons, but all like any kind of berry you want, they've got it there.
Even with my years on the surface, my palate still just hasn't quite adjusted to such bold flavors under the sun.
Trying to follow Endis and Radix's conversation, I'm completely lost. And we'll talk over breakfast.
Oh, really quick, Ceace, the bracelets, the daily, is it a free action?
Yeah, it's a free minor action.
Free
No, like,
and minor are two
all
different action types. Free
activated
to get a
items
minor, right?
or something that has an activation requires an action
You got
to gain
standard,
whatever.
move, minor.
So is it a minor action to gain a minor action? Is it a free action to gain a minor action?
There is no action to use it. Does that make sense?
So it's
You're
a no action. Like there's a difference between no action and free action.
Yeah, it's a no action, but you gain it lets you have an
No, I
additional
understand
minor
that.
action.
It basically just always gives us an extra minor action. We don't have to activate it.
Correct. And that's once per day.
Okay, yeah, I understand that. It's just that some magic items require like use a minor action to gain this benefit, and there is a distinction between say free action and you can only have so many free actions, and no action you can do as many times as you want until infinity or whatever.
Well,
I just couldn't do that
my-
because I couldn't do that because then it would just make sense, and I had to be absolutely confusing.
Well, no, there are such things actually, like powers that have no action. So I just wanted to clarify that for note keeping.
Copy. And what is the pixie doing?
I grab a plate of food. Grab a plate for the panther, who strangely walks away with the plate of food intact in its mouth. And we go over to where we are now. The panther lays down, starts eating the plate of food. I sit on the panther's back and eat my plate of food.
Endis?
I'm just waiting on everybody else.
Thinking, dang fleshy people, and they're eating.
It's pretty much his position. Is he's got to kill time waiting for people to do this crap. He wants to get on the water.
Finish your consumption, flesh bags.
I haven't gone full HK-47 yet.
Hmm?
I haven't figured out how this
Yeah, I was waiting for it.
healing solves because he's mechanical. I'll play him.
Wizard did it.
Wizard did it.
It's magical.
And Leo comes running over. She's like, "Oh, you guys are here. I thought I'd missed you, and then it would have been bad, and all that work would have been for nothing." And you see, like, she's hanging in her arms, multiple. You would actually see 4 large bags, and they're like cinch-up bags. And she hands one to each of you, and as she goes to hand one to Odin, she goes, "This may or may not work for you. I've never had to make something like this for someone of a mechanical nature." And she hands you the bag.
I'll take the pack and strap it on.
These packs are healing salves. Well, sort of. They're they're a tea leaf that's been soaked in certain brines of other herbs. Long story short, chew the tea leaf, you'll gain life. You'll be healed.
Thank you very much.
Roger nods his head in thanks.
Leo, before you go, is Les still crying?
Does he stop?
Go console your brother.
I'll leave that to the knoll. They'll go off hunting marbles soon. And she walks away.
Now these tea leaves, these salves, what exactly is the healing property? You alright? Do you want a tea leaf to chew on?
First day, new tongue. I'll be alright. Each tea leaf will do 2d8 of healing, and each pouch contains 6 tea leaves.
Pouch of tea leaves. Each tea leaf does how much? 2d8? 2d8 healing when chewed. Oh, you said there are 6?
Yeah.
6 leaves total.
What's the action to use the leaf?
Minor.
What's the lowest?
Make it a minor.
Like a health pot, for instance, is minor action.
Let's go with mine.
Let's go with minor action.
Boop.
The chief and his 2 children come over, and they all 3 of them nod towards the party. The chief says, "I assume you've got everything you need?"
Not yes.
We should be good, Chief.
Good. I'm glad we were able to help. When you are ready, we will take you to the edge of the village, and from there you'll be on your own. But it should be good. You hear the son. Go ahead.
I glance around at the other member of the group and I say, we probably overstayed our welcome and we should really head on our way before potential world destruction gets any closer.
The son looks over towards Hawthorne and goes, "If only you would have left yesterday, you could have traveled up north with the trade merchant."
Yeah, but then I wouldn't have met these 3.
Yeah, maybe you'll catch him up in
Shiv?
maybe you'll catch him up in Bahrain. I know he said he was gonna stop there for a day or 2.
I'm sure we'll pass it on the way.
All right. Well, whenever you're ready, come grab me. I'll lead the party out.
I give another glance currently saying, well, are you guys just ready to go now?
I'm ready when you guys are, and I assume the golem's been ready for a day. No, not
I am ready.
the golem.
I know. I think that's what I think.
The sun looks to you guys and goes, "Oh, if you're ready now, then I'll sound the horn and we will be gathered." And he pulls a ram's horn, what looks like a ram's horn, from his side and blows it very loudly. And you see like everything stops the minute it's blown. And centaurs hustle over to where he's at. And all of a sudden you guys are surrounded by close to 50 centaurs.
For a second there, I thought you meant he stopped time with it. I was like, whoa.
Yes, he stopped time with the blow of his horn. And the sun nods to the other centaurs and they follow line up behind him as the chief and his sister walk off.
Hey, Therod.
Yeah.
Remember, it's gonna be some slow going. I'm the only one with something to help me go a little faster. These guys are on foot.
Who said they'd be on foot?
Who said they're not?
He smiles at you and he goes, "I don't know how fast the golem can travel." And two centaurs walk over to either side of Arlie and Endis and offer to allow you to ride their back, which is known to be like the greatest honor ever.
They've come over to me and offered to let me ride on their back.
Yeah, it's actually like one of their largest centaurs comes over to you.
Oh.
And he eyes you up and down. He's like he like grimaces, but he offers.
Trying to find movement.
For who?
Speed is 0.
I thank him for the kind offer, but I would hate to break his back. Kinda hefty.
Yeah, Arlie, you didn't put a speed or movement on your character.
I didn't. Oops.
If she's wearing plate, she's probably at 5.
5.
Because Dragonborn have base 6, and if she's wearing plate or scale, she has a -1 modifier.
Yes, that's correct. Sorry, I still convert to feet in my head, so when you said 5 and 6, I was very confused.
Yeah, it's based on squares in 4E, which are 5 feet.
Yeah, I'm with you now.
The centaur that offered to you, Arlie, he nods at you, and you see like the relief cross his face, and he trots over to join the rest of the pack. And it's to you, Radix. You've got a centaur offering to give you a ride.
Oh, I appreciate your gesture, but I spent far too much of my life not taking care of myself and being free to go where I may, and I'm going to continue being on my own. Thank you.
And the centaur nods to you and heads over to be back in line. And a centaur started to head over to Odom, shook his head no, and went back in line. Well, I guess we'll just line up and go with the old-fashioned way.
It's like a parade.
A very spaced out parade. And as you look around, you notice that all the centaurs that are escorting you are all males. All of the females stayed back.
Cool.
Interesting.
First light.
So I guess we just proceed forward.
Correct.
You're traveling north, and you would notice that you're actually traveling. Actually, you first notice that you are traveling towards the sun.
Towards the sun, even though it's north.
That's correct.
Interesting.
That's all you get? I get interesting.
Okay.
Staples in my chips.
Considering everything they've seen, I don't think the sun being north is that much of a surprise.
And it takes probably like an hour or two. I'd say like 2 hours to get to the edge of town, because Pesh is the largest fishing village in the along the southern coast.
Yeah, when you said village, I don't consider something a village when it takes 2 hours to get from the center part of it to an edge.
It's true.
Well, they aren't exactly walking very fast, and you're taking kind of like a leisurely stroll. And it's not like they're taking you to the edge of like where the huts stop. They're taking you to the edge like where their land, like their property
Oh,
The
area would stop.
territory, okay.
That's cool.
Which, like, if you look on the map, it would be halfway from where it says, Pesh. It would actually be probably like a quarter of the way up towards Vare.
Oh, okay, so like almost like the Chev or whatever.
No,
Oh, Vare.
Vare.
Okay, no, yeah,
Yeah.
I just, yeah.
I'm out to confuse you. It's fabulous.
It's working.
I'm noticing. The centaur turns to the rest of the pack and holds up his hands to basically tell them to stop. And he looks to you guys and says, "We can go no further."
I approach and give, somber nods saying thank you for your hospitality and your generosity. May Pelor grace your tribe with light.
He nods very kindly to you.
Thanks yet again, Therod. Go back, tell the chief I said thanks for the escort, and we'll go from here. Maybe some point we'll be back.
We will stand here till we can no longer see you. If you need anything, scream. We're still here.
I also thank him for all their kindness and hospitality.
And he nods at you as well.
So, shall we go?
Nice, just roll playing
Onward.
properly.
Very well.
Yeah, I proceed out of their territory or whatever and head
you
towards
wanna-
the sun.
Clear the map, or are we? Yeah. What formation did we want to take as we were going? Now that we don't have a 50 centaur escort.
Would you like a 50 centaur?
Well, probably a line, but
I'll move one
I would
to
say I'd be up
5.
front, but I don't know where we're going, so.
Yeah, you have the map though, right? So,
I do.
or your character or whatever. Alright, so I mean, so long as you can mention which way we're going.
For now, it's pretty much that way. Many points toward the sun.
Alright, that way!
I'm not over here by myself.
Alright, I mean, we could probably just keep in this order or whatever. Just travel, travel, travel. Walk.
You notice at first that there's almost a path that leads out of the village, but you notice you are completely surrounded by plains, very sparsely with trees, but you can see trees off in the distance.
Okay.
You see anything of interest as we're going?
Honey. I'm looking around just to see if the wide open plains, if there happens to be anything that might want to eat us.
You notice something that looks like antelope off and like to your left a fair bit. You notice a lot of birds, a lot of tall grass. Nothing that would look at you with predator eyes, basically.
Predator eyes.
That's my word.
I wish I could do that predator crackling noise right now.
Kind of the clicky click thing.
Yeah. Because I can obviously do it.
Are you talking about
The clicking noise that the Predator in the movie Predator makes.
I've never watched Predator. I don't like freaky movies.
Meanwhile, I'm doing a Hall & Oates song.
Alright.
We're walking.
You're walking.
After about we'll say like 2 hours of walking, you notice the trees are getting a lot closer. You actually start to see some shade kicking in. By the time the sun is overhead, you are able to determine that there is forest. Not just a couple of trees, but forest off in the distance. Yep, not too far ahead.
Shade, yay!
Goody. Oh, this looks like it could be fun.
But you've never been up to Florida. You only went off towards the Fey area that they have. Well, not their, well, they're druids and stuff are.
Okay, sorry to go a little out of control. Based on the map, is the forest just like so small that we wouldn't know it's on the map?
It's not like a blatantly obvious forest. It's just a very condensed population of trees.
Okay.
Shit, I didn't want to close that.
You guys want to try to go around them or through the densely populated trees?
Well, like, are the trees just extending as far as the eye could see or whatever in either direction?
No, they're not as far as the eye can see, but you can tell, like you can see through this population of trees. It's not like it's a good thickness of them, but you can tell that it doesn't go that deep, but it is very wide. so it would take longer to walk around it than to walk through it.
You spelled predator wrong. You put predator.
I guess just keep going. Be on your guard, though. We don't know this land. Anything is possible. Keep going. So yeah, I guess just continue through the forest.
Yep, pretty much.
Do it. What are you doing? Aha.
Alright, when you get into the forest, you notice it is a bunch of just dense trees. It's actually really cool. You would have felt a lot of heat in the out in the plains. So it's very cool. And you notice a pond, a very beautiful pond. There are several vegetarian animals drinking from the water, but you'll also notice there are a couple non-vegetarian animals drinking from the water.
Herbivores and carnivores.
Can I do a nature to see if I can tell what kind of animals the non-vegetarian animals are?
Go for it.
Oh, I got a 16.
You know one of them is a puma. A couple of them are pumas.
Hey, look, it's pumas.
12.
The answer is you. You are the non-vegetarian.
I was waiting to roll like a 1 to get that response. I see me.
Yeah, there's cats.
Do you pause here for a break before continuing on, or do you just pass straight through?
You said like the sun's right up above, right? So like it's midday.
Oh yeah, and hot as all get out. Like you guys are
Hey,
covered in
so how about we pitch attack. Stop here for a moment, have some lunch, and then we can continue on.
I would say cool yourselves and refill your water reservoirs, but stalling from our task is ill-advised.
Okay, so walking lunch it is. I'll go over to the water and splash some of it on me and try to refill some water skins.
The animals that are drinking from the water hole, as you go over to it, just walk away like, okay, nope, we're done.
They don't like skitter away, they're just like, alright, and walk away calmly.
Yeah, like that. It's almost like they're offended that you're at their water hole. They just walk away like, ugh.
Ruined it now.
You're to the front now, so you won't get buried.
I fly up off my panther's back, fly straight into the water, come up out of the water, get a couple feet off the ground, kind of shake the extra water off, and fly over to the other side.
I kneel down and refill one reservoir and pull out another, fill that, and start casting a ritual on it to make myself some holy water.
While we're doing that, I look over at Radix. I was like, so how would you describe feelings to somebody? I'm trying to figure out how to explain it to Odom. It's complicated. And you seem smart.
Feelings are... I would say they are natural tugs on our persons to make us react and in a certain way that is either favorable or disfavorable.
I'll give that a shot. Did you go up and stop by the water, Odom?
No, I'm standing off to one side.
Okay. After I refill my water, I come up to you and it's like, so feelings are like when something happens and there's like a tug on like how you would normally react that makes you react that way. Does that sound familiar?
If you mean, do I have free will to control my actions, then yes, I do.
No, that's not what I mean. Like, okay, so, like, say I was a being that didn't need any sustenance or, like, anything cooling or anything like that. I was stuck with a bunch of people who had to stop every, like, so often and delay a thing that I was trying to get done. I might feel annoyed and be upset with them for delaying the task.
I am unlikely to succeed in the task by myself, therefore I need the support and aid of you, and you have needs due to your biological natures, which I cannot evade. Being angry or irritated by that would not make sense.
Oh, so you know anger and irritation. You know what that is. So you have feelings. It's just not logical for you to have the one that I was describing here.
I know of anger. I have not felt anger myself.
Okay. Are you okay, Radix?
Radix just sneezed his head off.
Dying.
You really should limit the amount of dog spit you ingest.
No, I'm allergic to cat. I'm allergic to cats.
Oh. Forgot about that.
Why do you have a cat?
We brought it in during, this Midwest shit-ass winter that was negative 14 or whatever. There were people behind where my folks live that were just feeding a stray, and then they left for Europe for a month or something, and so we just said, fuck that, you're killing the cat. So no one that we tried to adopt it out to would take it, so we now have a cat.
It's adorable, at least. It's an adorable death.
And she's mischievous. She took my #1 key on my keyboard, and I'm pretty pissed at that.
I remember you saying that now.
I have a cat that she steals all my socks and hides them in the couch.
Good.
At least she hides them in the same spot, I guess.
Not exactly, no. We moved and I found 17 pairs of socks.
Yeah, she started doing that this past week, and we found almost all of them from our desktop. We're still missing F5 and 8, and I left my laptop open to run some updates before I went to sleep, and I woke up and the one key was missing, and we've broken this house apart and we can't find it. I'm convinced her stomach acid destroyed it.
Oh,
Bastard.
Did you check
just
under your
trying to
couch?
build a computer.
Get one key at a time.
Yeah. I'm sorry, somewhere in there. Alright, I can't find what I'm looking for. Maybe it's not this book. I'm lost. Didn't see nothing else.
Alright, so onward? Maybe?
I think they're in alphabetical order.
I know, but I can't find what I'm looking for.
I can pull it up in the compendium. What do you need? Hang on. Hang on. Don't say anything out loud. Let me mute.
Yeah, that's good.
Give me 1 second here. I'm all sorts of sidetracked because something just went missing off my computer. Something I needed.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Alright, I'm all better. Sorry. So you'll notice that this pond is probably close to the halfway point. You guys are assuming you're pretty roughly halfway to Valray.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay, so just continue on that direction, I suppose.
Alright, so you guys are packing up whatever you've unpacked and heading out, correct?
Yep.
I believe so.
Alright, as you guys are starting to, like, you get around the little pond and everything, and you're starting to come out of the forest, you notice a couple of human-esque figures in the distance.
Human-esque?
Correct.
Just continue on our way, I guess. I mean, we got places to be.
Are they like coming towards us or?
Not really. They're just like you just notice them in the distance.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, say keep going.
All right. As you continue heading north, and the sun is starting to creep behind you, you realize that you're walking towards them.
I mean, wasn't that what we were doing in the first place when we left the forest? like towards these people, so that they're north, right?
You notice that they were off in the distance, but they kind of looked more easterly than directly north. Now they are directly north.
Okay, then yeah, I guess just continue going in the direction we need to be going.
Okay. As you get closer to them, you notice they're not as human-esque as you thought they were.
Knowledge nature. Everything else has been.
Yeah, we'll go with nature check.
12? No, wait. 11.
They appear to be shadowy.
Oh man.
I got a natural 20.
There's shadows ahead.
It still knows.
That's what they are.
Was that Cambians? Okay, they appear to be Cambians.
What are those?
Cambians are shadows?
They're kind of demon devil things.
And this must be race, which here totally means they're innocent cabbage farmers.
Okay.
Do I have any knowledge of them from having been here?
A little bit. You know that they are good weaponsmiths.
Do I know their standard outlook on life
So,
and the lives of
should
others?
we, like, say hi? See how they are?
Pretty fairly neutral.
I'd say just continue onward. I mean,
As far as I
Any
know,
close-
while in the normal world they would be flat out evil, here they're pretty much neutral.
If they aren't a threat and they can't help us, then there's no point to bother them.
that's kind of where I'm at. Any delays towards stopping Mr. World Destruction is bad.
Any unnecessary delays are, yeah, probably a bad thing.
Movies like must delay world destruction.
Alright, as you continue forward, you notice that they notice you. And they are now, like, lining themselves into your direct path.
So, I say hello.
Keep going unless they stop us, I guess.
They are currently the two yellow markers on the map.
Yeah, I stop and I wave and say hello to them.
They look at each other and look back at you. And you notice that they have large wings, and they have spread them out to almost shield their bodies from the sun.
That would be handy.
What, to shield your bodies from the sun?
Mm-hmm.
They are essentially blocking your path.
Not to sound like a smart ass, but I moved to go around them.
They back up to stay in your path.
I guess yell out, be you friend or foe?
They look at each other and then look back at you.
I try to pantomime that we really need to get past them.
They just stare at you.
Any ideas? Everybody else?
I'm going to shrug and just start walking towards them.
Crushinator.
Yeah, and just go be the Crushinator.
Oh wait, there's two of them?
That's correct.
If we all fan out, they can't be in the way of all of us. Let's try that.
Yeah, I mean, just I figure if we keep walking forward and they keep walking backwards, then tough shit on that.
It's an idea too.
Alright, eventually. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. I was gonna say, I want to walk directly up to them and say, well, my if you mean to impede us, don't. Either step aside or we will put you aside.
They don't move.
I'm just going to keep walking right between the two.
They let Endes walk straight through. Right between them. No problem.
Over there.
Alright, I'm
Alright.
also just going to continue walking, I guess. Or are they going to let me
Okay.
through?
Yeah?
I make to do the same.
No, green. Okay.
Okay. They'll let you walk right through.
Watch, they're totally gonna try and steal our pixie.
I go to do the same thing.
As Hawthorne is walking through, one of them bends down and says, "Be careful in our lands."
Careful of what exactly?
They
They smirk at you and
spread their wings.
and take off.
Well, that was mighty helpful.
Cryptic bastards.
Guess they don't like your kind or something? I don't know.
They're jealous because my wings are iridescent.
You do have sparkly wings.
Alright, so you guys are continuing on your path, and you're starting to see the outline of the town in the distance. It is literally a day's walk the entire way from the village you started in to Valray, and it is coming close to probably like 5 o'clock, and you're starting to see the outline of the town in the distance.
So, shall we make it to the town and go look for an inn, perhaps?
Yeah, I would say approach cautiously and everything.
Alright, when let's say you arrive at the town, it is nearly dusk. The sun is starting to set in the south. And you notice there are guards posted at the entrance into this town. This town would almost seem like a small city.
Okay. I would go up to the gate and either knock or yell to the guards, greetings.
You notice that there are 6 guards standing at the gate. They are not on top of the gate, they are on the floor, and they just stare at you. And the gate doors are shut.
Greetings, guards of RA.
They continue to stare at you.
I guess weird thing. Go push on the gate.
The gate is locked.
I don't think breaking in's a good idea.
Well, you never know. It could have been one of those same wing guy situations. You just go and kind of push at it, and then you can get in.
Yes.
Okay, how about this? I knock on the gate.
It makes a banging noise.
They're not responding. They haven't responded, right?
Correct.
I look at the guard nearest to me and I say, open the gate. We want in. We want to go to your inn. We've been walking all day.
And they yell out, please!
All of you want in?
Yes.
Yes.
He turns to one of the other guards and makes a sneering gesture and nods, and then looks at you guys and says, "Inn's 3 buildings in on the right."
Thank you.
Just gotta know how to talk to these people.
Yeah, be direct. Fuck pleasantness. Did they open the gate?
They did.
Okay.
Oh god, one of the buildings is on fire. 2 of the buildings are on fire.
The orange circles are not buildings, they are forges.
Okay, and you would say, what, number 5 was the 3rd building on the right? Or number 7?
Number 5.
Okay.
This is a dumb question that we didn't ask a minute ago. What race were the guards?
Same.
I asked that in...
They were the same as the 2 you had encountered previously.
Awesome. Devil Town.
Alright, I am going to proceed to the inn.
As you're walking
And-
through, you actually notice that as you're walking through the town and passing the other villages, people are coming out and staring at you. And you notice that the town is full of this race. That's all that's there.
Okay. I'm going to enter the inn.
Alright, the door's unlocked.
Okay, I enter and find the proprietor of the establishment.
Okay.
Follow.
I go up to whoever owns the place. Good evening. My companions and I would wish to purchase stay at your establishment.
They stare blankly at you.
We want rooms, please. We have money.
They blink and stare blankly at you. There are 2 people behind the counter.
I think I'm catching on to this. I step forward and say,
Yeah.
we'd like rooms for 4.
One room?
I did put an S on the end of that word. I would like multiple rooms for 4 people. If your establishment has rooms for 2, we will take 2 of those.
We have one room that will house 2, and we have the large rooms that are adjoining, and each room will house 1 with a common room.
You are making my eyeball twitch. Give us rooms that will fit 4 people. Well, 3 people and 1 gigantic monstrosity.
Which one
What's a
is the
people?
gigantic monstrosity?
I lean over to Arlie and say, I don't think you're a monstrosity.
Thanks.
What is people?
4. 4. Room 4, please.
The person you've been speaking to turns to the other one next to him and hands them a set of keys and gestures for you to follow them.
Before we go anywhere, has the wandering traveling merchant been through here recently?
Actually, he's set up at the 3rd forge. He'll be there till morning.
Wait, set up at the 3rd floor?
Forge.
Oh, forge. Gotcha.
Yeah, this race is known as Great Weaponsmiths. Okay, thank you. Show us to the rooms.
The younger is leading you upstairs and takes you into a room that looks like a small common room. It's got a couple of high back chairs and a fireplace, and you notice 4 doors that lead off of it. Assuming you don't want to sleep together, this is the best we can do.
That'll do.
And he turns and walks away.
Well, you guys can do whatever you want. However, I need to make it to the 3rd forge. tonight yet, because we can't let the traveling merchant get away yet.
I'm just going to ready myself for, the end of the night.
Having said what I did, I head out.
Does anyone go with him?
I was gonna say I'll go with him.
The monstrosities go with the pixie.
I don't think you're a monstrosity.
Alright, you get outside. You get to the third forge, which is not too far from the inn. And out front of the forge, you see a small creature that is haggling with several of these of the residents of this town over what appears to be mithril.
Does it look like, normal kind of haggling that normally happens, or like are they like arguing like vehemently or something?
Back and forth between both.
Eh. I just let them argue it out.
Pretty much.
The argument goes on for some time, and one of the residents of the village, I wouldn't say bursts into flames, but all of a sudden is maintaining a very cool composure as she is handling a very large fireball.
Does it appear to us that the merchant is about to be attacked?
Can you use insight for that?
You weren't exactly certain if he's about to be attacked or if she's just letting off steam.
Well, I only got a 14 on insight to try and glean more information from like their body language and stuff.
I got a 19.
Between the two of you both realize nobody is acting afraid. For lack of a better term, nobody's afraid of the fireball or anything like that. And so as you actually notice that the trade merchant is actually calmer than everybody else in regards to the situation.
I turn towards the town resident and I say, hey, why don't you put that away?
She looks to you. Very politely puts it away and looks the merchant goes, we will finish this in the morning. I will not do this in front of guests. And the rest of the residents follow her.
And I look at the merchant, I'm like, well, that seemed fun.
It's a very guttural tone, and I'm not going guttural. He looks at you and goes, she does it every time I'm in. Gotta get used to it, I guess.
She does it every time you're in?
Yeah, I travel through here all the time. This is like the best place for me to sell my metals. They love the metals here. And he looks over to Odin and goes, "You would sell for a pretty penny here."
What is that?
Kuatoa.
Who? What?
She seemed kind of, I don't know, aggressive to have like a ball of fire like that.
They live in flames. Are you kidding me? Why do you think these people are like this race is so good with metal? Like they can turn anything into. They're awesome. They make like the best art.
How do you spell that?
Okay.
It's UA. Sorry. It's TAO. Sorry, I'm all backwards.
Good God.
I suck.
I know it's not.
So what brings you here?
What can I do for you?
What can I do for you?
Looking for something?
You looking for something?
You're an awfully
odd set of beings to being in here.
The chief or whoever gave me
Now
a
look at the
symbol,
pixie.
right? Gave me like a symbol. The chief.
Yeah, he gave you like the thing that the bad guy was carrying.
I pull the symbol that the chief gave me out of my pack. And I ask him if it means anything to him.
He
reaches out to grab it and turns it over in his hand. He goes, "Guy, might have been 8 months ago. Might even be a year ago now. Came through and bought a sword. Oh, it was a good sword too. Man, that thing could have fetched me a pretty penny if he hadn't been such a pain in my tail. He managed to weasel me into a really good deal on that thing. Bought this sword and I don't know. I heard somewhere he was heading up to Poison, but I didn't go looking for him. Deal long gone is a deal gone."
Poison, you say?
That's what I'd heard, but I don't know if he'd stop there or just head straight up to Freeport.
Alright then.
Kuatoa. I guess I spelled it wrong here. Kuatoa.
There is.
Psst, if you do a nature check, you can find out what race he is.
Don't I already know?
21!
I've had experience with him.
Not unless you've asked what his acid knows what he says.
You notice he is a Kuatoa.
Aww.
What book is that in? Because that's not in the compendium.
Monster Manual 2. I'm sorry, no, straight Monster Manual. My screens are all backwards.
What page?
173.
Do I know anything about the Kuto?
Well, you can tell that he is a lizard-esque creature with a large underbite. Somewhere between a murloc and a lizard.
Okay, so he is what I was thinking he was. Yay. What were you about to say?
Finally, I got the right spelling by looking it up myself.
I sent it to you a second time. Kuotoa. You don't listen to me. Not my problem. Not my problem. And actually, I spelled it right the first time.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
K-U-O. Well, I'm sorry, I did an apostrophe, not a dash.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Anyway.
Sorry,
Syl was yelling at me and called me a liar. So the merchant gentleman looks at you guys. He's, what are you doing after this guy anyway? What, he steal your shorts?
You could say that.
Well, shorts isn't the right word.
But your shorts, I'd count them long gone. That sword he got from me, I found buried in another man about probably a couple months later. He doesn't seem to hold on to anything for very long. He did have a bundle with him, now that I think about it, though. Some pack that he wouldn't, like, let go of. Because I remember asking him how much he wanted for the pack, and he got real mad.
And that would be what we're looking for.
The
It was
pack?
about a year ago.
Pretty close to that. Maybe a little bit more than that. Wouldn't have been too long.
Where did you find the sword and the guys running through the guy months later, you said?
Oh, that would have been up just past Chev towards Sayadin. I always thought it was someone off that island that nobody likes to go to.
There's an island nobody likes to go to. Why?
'Cause they suck.
Are they like really aggressive or?
Well, to be honest, it's where my family's at. Well, and they get a hair up their butt about everything. Heck, you sneeze before wiping your butt and they look at you wrong and kill you over it no matter what. Right. Call me an outlaw. What the crap is that?
An outlaw?
Deal with it.
Yeah, something about I wouldn't kill someone, but they told me to kill him, and yeah, I left.
I got a chair weight.
She's yours.
My character looks like she's very deep in thought for a minute or two.
Well, if y'all are interested, me and the caravan are gonna be heading up towards Chev, probably first light. You're welcome to come along. I don't know if that's the way you're headed or not. Stops and looks at Hawthorne again and goes, "Wait a minute. Aren't you that little guy from Pesh?"
Yep.
Come a long way from your centaur brothers, ain't you?
Only a day's walk.
Still. I ain't seen you leave that village in what, a little over a year?
Yeah, I didn't have the best traveling companions.
Hey, man, that Minotaur was hilarious. I could not stop laughing. He tells some of the best jokes. Something about what makes a Minotaur sneak or something. I don't even remember. I just remember it was hilarious. You guys can't see it necessarily, but Saraz is rolling over here.
Alright. I'm back. Yep.
What made you so funny? What made you laugh so hard? What tickled your fancy?
A giant monitor lizard with a freaking southern accent. Yeehaw!
Well, you know all them lizards down in the south, right?
Well, if you're interested, you can just come on over here in the morning. You can head out with the caravan. The rest of the crew will be catching up with me from the other forges. Yeah, it'd be right about first light.
I look at him and go, yeehaw! Turn around and go back to my room.
As you're walking away, he turns around and flicks you with his tail. And trips you. Actually, trips your panther that you're riding on.
I remain floating in the air, and my panther falls to the ground and gets up pissed.
Okay.
That is all.
I was gonna have him whack you off a lizard, but I figured I'd do that.
It's kind of rude.
Yeehaw.
So
you're all headed back to the room?
You.
Sure.
I've been there.
Yeah,
Are you snoring yet?
Meditating, yes.
Alright, how late do we want to go?
It's 10
We are
o'clock. We
just
should
about at the
probably call
limit
it
for
here.
me, so.
Yeah,
Alright,
I'd like to
we'll
eat
go.
dinner tonight.
What, you haven't eaten yet?
No.
Wow. Oh, that's right. You moved out to Washington, didn't you?
No, not yet. I'm still in India.
Oh, I thought you moved already. Alright, then we will go ahead and call it for the evening.
Cool. It's exciting so far.
How much experience would it be till next level?
I don't know. Let me pull up a player.
Wish you could see it. My puppy is sprawled out on the floor, like just legs all ways, just like nah.
Mine is in luggage mode.
Luggage mode?
Luggage?
Yeah, it's when all the feet are curled up underneath them and they're in like compact mode.
Ah.
Just put a handle on the back and they're good to go.
It is kind of amazing how they can lay and make it look like they have no legs.
Yeah, definitely.
Trying to find it. I think I'm close.
6 level, 7,500 experience. So we do.
Alrighty then.
Okay.
Yay.
Did you say 75?
Alright, we'll go ahead and do 1,200 experience for the night.
Alrighty.
And then we'll pick up in the town next Sunday. Hopefully, hopefully we worked out all the kinks, so we'll start promptly at 6 o'clock and head out from there.
Sounds good.
Alright, I'm gonna log off Skype and all this jazz, so
Bye.
talk to you guys later.
Adios.
Adios.
Bye bye.